welcome on into Get Heard with Nerds. I'm Brett.
I'm Dorian.
And thank you guys for everyone who's been supporting us and watching the show. Just make sure, if you guys are watching on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast site,
services.
Make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe. Leave us a review, all that stuff. It helps us out a great deal. So what are we talking about, Dorian?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So we're going to be talking about the Tenet. We're going to be talking about Spellbreak. We're going to talk about a Nintendo Direct that finally delivered the goods. But first things first, let's start off with some really good news here.
Oh, yes.
Mandolorian is coming back this year. We're not going to get a Corona delay.
No. So did we talk? I think we talked last week that we thought it was the 20th. That's what was being reported, I believe.
I don't think we did, to be honest with you.
We might have mentioned it, but anyway, if we did mention it, then this is kind of our redacted statement of saying it's actually going to be the 30th of October. It's
going to be the 30th of October. So coincidentally, Pikmin 3 Remastered comes out the same day, so now you have a choice here. It's not a hard one.
It's not a hard one. Mandalorian. So, I'm excited. It's not too far away. We're about, 2 months out, a little bit less than 2 months. So
exactly, yeah. I'm just super thankful for Jon Favreau for actually giving us something to look forward to. And also, October 30th is when my Disney Plus subscription will become active again. So take note, Disney.
Yes. Still no word on other projects, though, by Disney right now.
You're talking about like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Pretty much been silent on that for a while now.
Probably just because they don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of, not knowing things, the Batman is delayed again.
Yes.
Robert Pattinson, the bat got bit by the bat, COVID-19.
Yeah, no, the bootleg version of, or China's bootleg version of Batman basically...
Yep, the man bat.
Yeah, did in the real life Batman here. But, just when I get excited for this movie and get interested in this movie, it's just like, just kidding.
I'm still wondering, because it's far enough out, if they'll be able to release by Halloween next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think because right now the CDC guidelines, then again, I think they are recording in England, so I think the guidelines might be a little bit different.
Is it still 10 days or 12 days or whatever?
At least
from symptoms.
At least from CDC guidelines, it's 10 days.
So they could be back up next week.
Fairly quickly, so we'll see. But it's, right now they're sitting on 25% of footage that's been filmed. And that's
a good chunk.
That's a pretty good chunk, and I'm really surprised they were able to make essentially a 2-minute trailer with that footage here.
Yeah, take note, James Gunn.
Yeah, no kidding. But
the heck's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. But
they give us the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Anyway.
I don't get that move, but so they got roughly 75% of the film that they still need to film. Hopefully they can get back on track and this movie can come out sooner rather than later. Yeah,
I agree, because I'm super interested in that movie.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Speaking of interesting movies, and I'll have a review of this next week, talking about Mulan. So Mulan came out last Friday, and but you have to pay a premium. That's kind of the downside right now that we've talked about in the past is you have to have Disney Plus, which is, $6, depending on your plan, it's $5 to $7 a month, somewhere around there. But you're going to have to pay an extra $30 if you want to watch Mulan right now.
Which, here's the thing. I get early access, blah, blah, blah. These movies were originally intended to be in the theaters. But $30 for one movie, when you have, like, Bill and Ted, $25, you don't have to have a subscription or anything along those lines, and you get to keep that forever.
Yeah, but Bill and Ted's not quite the tier of Mulan.
I understand that, but
like not even close.
But I'm just talking about from a marketing type of thing, or like just a business conduct. There it is.
Yeah, no, I actually get the $30 just because, like the way that my family viewed it. So we went over to my in-laws' house.
Yeah,
there was like 10 of us watching it outside on a projector. Yeah. That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
If you're just watching this at home with your wife and you have the money, go for it, or whatever, your husband and whatever.
Yeah.
Because because you will be able to keep it. It is yours now if you have Disney Plus.
Exactly.
Which I don't see us getting rid of that anytime soon.
Sure. No,
especially with the slate that's coming, hopefully in 2021.
Well, right, exactly. So, I mean...
But if you don't want to pay this premium, that's what I'm getting to, is it will be coming out on Disney Plus December 4th. For the people who pay for Disney Plus, it's going to be free.
Which, coincidentally, that's when my Disney Plus subscription will be active, because I'll be watching Mandalorian during that time.
Yeah, totally.
So it works out just fine.
Yeah, and, all things on the table, it was a fantastic movie. I think they did a great job. I've seen some reviews that are really good and some that are just like, it's like a 7, which I would disagree. I think it's honestly, I give it a soft 8 right now.
Okay.
I have to watch it again. Super cool. Do not go in expecting the Disney movie. It is a straight up martial arts kung fu
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, with superpower stuff. So
like we talking like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style. Okay.
100%. That's the movie I would compare it to.
Fair enough.
And you got Donnie Yen, you got Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the Mulan's name, but she does fantastic in the movie.
I know the actress. She played the female lead character in Forbidden Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so super good movie. Anyway, let's talk about
the good stuff.
Even Mulan's great.
Mandalorian's great.
Everything's great, and this week got a little bit better.
Yeah,
I woke up
this week. You heard it with Nerds is brought to you by the emotion or the vibe positivity.
Yes. I woke up. I think it was Thursday morning.
Yes,
Thursday morning out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Got this beautiful direct called the Mario 35th Anniversary Direct.
Real quick before that, so I actually went on to the eShop. I think it was like about 5 o'clock in the morning. Before getting to work, because I was going to download Spellbreak and have that ready for me to play when I got home.
Yeah.
And the eShop had
oh, they already had it up, huh?
Well, they didn't have it up, but they had it was kind of Mario themed, and they even showed instead of the loading bar icon, it's
Mario,
the Mario 64 model running. I'm like, okay, something's up.
Yeah.
Something's up, and then a couple hours later, you found out why.
Yep. So yeah, everything we had been talking about, all the rumors are true, plus more.
So we want to get right into it?
Let's just get into it.
All right. So basically, there's going to be a special edition of a Game & Watch that basically has Super Mario Brothers 1 and 2, as well as some extra features. There's going to be a
clock function.
Function, some secrets that are going to be in there, and also a classic Game & Watch game that actually will have Mario's face instead of the Game & Watch face plastered on, which, obviously this is supposed to be a collector's item, but it's still kind of a weird choice though, where it's just hey, you can pay who knows how much money for this thing.
Yeah.
That's a portable that you can play, Super Mario Brothers on, or you could just buy a Switch and just play it that way with, the NES.
Did they release price yet? I don't think
they did not, and that's I think going to be the main thing that's going to make or break this whole thing. And it's
more than $50 or $60,
no, I mean
there's no way.
Well, especially considering how they put out the NES Classic for $60, and that came with 30 games here.
Yeah,
I mean, granted.
Well, and now if you have Switch Online, you could play all those games
exactly
for free.
Pretty much here.
Plus more now.
Plus more. So I get it's a collector's item. I just still think this is kind of a weird choice for or a route to go for a Mario collector's item for a 35th anniversary, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool looking. For those who don't know what Game & Watch is, they were old handheld systems predating the Game Boy.
Yeah.
And it was something super.
Even the NES, I believe here.
Yeah, I think so. So you're talking, early 80s.
Early 80s.
Because this NES came out in 85? Something like that?
85 at least. Yeah, I believe so, yeah. I think it might have been maybe a little bit sooner than 85, maybe a year before. I'm not entirely sure. But the thing that... the thing that kind of really made me scratch my head a little bit here was Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. So
I was really excited when I was seeing some of the footage, and then I was like, "Wait, this is not a normal Mario Kart game."
No, it's not.
I thought it was a new Mario Kart game.
That's what I thought at first. I'm like, okay, well, this is, which is unprecedented just because they've never done have two Mario Karts like for a generation on any Nintendo console. It's always been one.
Yeah, well, it was a remaster for the Mario Kart 8.
Sure, no, it was. But, I mean, even then, it's like they've still never done anything like that. It's unprecedented. But this is not a full-on Mario game, or Mario Kart game.
It's more gimmicky, which that was the kind of my only disappointment was basically you have like this car with a camera on it.
It's an RC car, essentially.
Yeah, and
with
you
Mario.
control it with the Switch. Mm-hmm. And on the Switch, it has Mario, and it looks like Mario Kart. You have all your items. Mm-hmm. Like if you throw a shell at someone and it hits them, their cart will stop if you're playing with someone else.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's what it looked like in the trailer. I mean, I don't know if that's the actual things. But then you have like the archways, which will control like where you go,
where the
map
track is. Yeah. The one thing that I kind of got a little bit of a kick out of was when, you have I think they showed it in the trailer, was like when the blooper comes and puts clogs up your screen with ink and stuff like that. You're like, oh no. Never mind, I'm doing okay over there. It's just like...
oh, no, I'm going to go actually look at my cart and keep driving.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, this thing is coming out October 16th. This is, I feel like, basically...
New Labo.
The new Labo, essentially. Kind of like...
It's going to be $100 easy.
That's the thing.
Easy $100.
I mean, this doesn't appeal to me. Kids will eat it up. And, this thing has got to be fairly expensive here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right now it's gonna be at least $99.
I mean, you look at just RC cars just in general, they're usually going for at least $30 or $40 at minimum.
Yeah.
Put in Mario on top of that,
and a camera, and also you'll have to have some type of software or game that's included with it here. Right.
So. Yeah, it's
maybe even 150. Honestly, thinking about this software.
I mean, if you're getting two of them, yeah. Which I mean, why wouldn't you want to have
That's what I'm wondering, if they'll come in packs, kind of like Starlink, had
or Skylanders or something along
and
those
you could just
lines,
add stuff to it.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, and then Mario Bros 35 announced, which is very similar to Tetris 99.
It's very similar. It's basically the closest thing that we're gonna get from an official battle royale mode for Super Mario Brothers. Basically what it is you're playing classic Super Mario Brothers levels. When you kill enemies in the game, it actually sends it over to other players, so they actually have to deal with them, and likewise that can happen to you.
Yep.
So you're basically just trying to survive, be the last Mario standing, basically.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's I think gonna be coming out sometime soon. It's the weird thing about it is only going to be playable till March 31st.
Yeah, a lot of the celebration of Mario kind of continues to the end of March, which I'm guessing just because the Switch came out in March, I'm guessing there's going to be something big around there, or I don't know. Because is it free to play for everyone, even if you don't have Switch Online? Because I'm guessing those Switch Online.
I'm pretty sure it's Switch Online. They said I think it's a
wasn't Tetris
offer.
Like that too, and then it came back?
Well, no, I don't think Tetris ever went away. It just surprise dropped, and it says hey, this is free for Nintendo Switch Online players here.
Yeah, kind of weird. It's not playable. You can't download it and have it on your system.
Right. Well, or just even if this was hey, something to be hey, this is an incentive for you to actually play or keep your Switch Online subscription here, more or less. This is kind of it's weird that they wouldn't let this still be a thing here, because what if I don't know, there's a competitive scene that wants to come from this here, but they can't.
I mean, it's a cool concept, even from a local multiplayer platform.
Oh, absolutely.
You got 5 or 6 friends that want to play.
Yeah.
And you all just, your last one standing wins.
No, it most certainly
Speaking of cooperative games.
Oh gosh.
Let's talk about Mario 3D World. It's coming February 12th, 2021 to the Nintendo Switch with a new expansion.
Yeah, it has this new expansion. Who knows how big it will be. It's called Bowser's Fury or something like that. Or I don't know if it's supposed to be furry.
Because you have the cats.
Well, yeah, it's that game.
I think it's
about,
Fury.
Yeah, but it's all about cats, and there's all sorts of cat stuff here. So I don't know.
Yeah. Here's the deal. This game is great.
We
have had lots of memorable things happen while playing this game.
I am no longer allowed to play this game.
Yeah. Is that part of your friendship bargain with friend of the show, Timothy Seabrecht?
I mean, not officially, but it's like it's kind of like if it's kind of one of those things where it's just like that if you do something, it's gonna be bad type of thing.
Just when we go to the bonus levels,
oh gosh,
make sure we get all the coins.
I mean,
otherwise, friendships will get ruined.
Because
I'm guessing we can play this online with each other.
We might, but I mean, I don't know. I might just have to abstain from this whole thing together.
Seabreak's gonna get it.
I don't know if he will though.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Well, this next couple games we're all gonna get, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no.
So they talked about Mario All Stars that's coming to the SNES collection for Switch, which is dope, and it's like re-resolutioned.
Yeah,
so it's like a little bit cleaner looking.
It's basically like the Mario NES games with SNES graphics here.
Yeah. So it's just like a step up, which is great.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that because I think Mario Bros. 2 and 3 are like right under Super Mario World for me. Super Mario World is my favorite Mario game.
Yeah. Three is
3 is dope because that's when you got the flight.
Yeah, 3 is my go-to like 2D classic Mario style game.
Yeah, I get it.
But these games I played on the SNES All-Star Collection.
Same with me mostly.
And so these are the versions of the game that I know and I grew up with.
Here. Yeah, it's just super cool. It's going to be there. That's going to make me kind of go through and play, and then we get the Mondo announcement.
Yeah,
the reason why this direct even happened.
Mm-hmm.
Mario 3D All Stars announced. Essentially, Super Mario All Stars 2.
Yes.
I mean, I would say 90% of it's great, and then there's a 10%. I think both you and I agree that there was something lacking.
Okay.
But
let's
all
unpack
around,
it real quick.
Yeah.
Here.
So let's you can talk about the first couple games.
Sure. So we got Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, all going to be in one package for $60. Going to be available September 18th, and it'll be limited to
for physical download and digital download, right?
Yeah.
Not physical download.
Yeah.
I mean, technically.
I mean, we're talking some 3D printers like stuff going on here, but yeah, it'll be a limited time title till March of 2021. So this is kind of going like you remember how Disney used to have like their Vault collection? Yes. Like back in the early 2000s, like, hey,
they still have it.
But this is kind of what it seems like is what they're doing here. It's just like, hey, you better get this soon, otherwise you might not be able to get it here.
Which it worked for me because I pre-ordered the physical copy because I think that's honestly going to be a collector's item. I think it's going to sell out.
No, big time. I mean, like the collector's item, physical copy of this, absolutely here, especially if Nintendo actually does go through with this
and doesn't print anymore.
Print anymore here, at least like not for this generation here.
Dude, this is like, so what's, I don't know, when this podcast go up, this is coming out in mere days.
Yes. Yeah.
Or actually, it'll be a week later.
Roughly a week, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's pretty quick. Like a week from today, basically.
No, really quick turnaround on. Really quick turnaround on this whole thing.
Which I'm stoked for because I played Super Mario Sunshine. My brother's gonna freak out, and I have it physical, so he'll be able to borrow it. But
yeah,
like my brother's generation, and he's 7 years younger than me. Super Mario Sunshine was his jam.
Yeah, no,
and it had wonky controls, and so I'm glad, and I hope that I know they cleaned that up, at least from what people are saying. Like that's the one thing I remember playing it where I was like, I wish it was a little tighter on some of these controls.
Really? For Sunshine?
Yeah, I thought it was just a little weird.
I always thought Sunshine like had the tightest controls out of any Mario game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, but then Galaxy's great. I love Super Mario Galaxy.
And I mean, obviously 64, the
game
that basically
wasted my probably third and fourth grade year of school just playing this game.
But no, this is the game that defined 3D games. Like this was like the first.
Do we get a Luigi in this game?
Ooh, don't go there.
Do we get a Luigi?
Don't go there.
Do we get a Luigi?
Don't go there.
Okay.
Don't go there.
I'm super excited. I think the 10% we're talking about is like, it doesn't make sense that Galaxy 2 isn't in this.
I mean, I guess it does in terms of like if this was just like, hey, we're just going to do the greatest hits from like these previous generations or something
I guess
like that.
I have Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 still, I think.
Yeah, I do too as
Did
well.
Galaxy 2 come out on GameCube and Wii or just
No,
GameCube?
it was just Wii.
So what was Galaxy? That was also Wii?
Yeah, because Sunshine was GameCube, Galaxy 1 and 2 was Wii.
Okay, that's right.
I mean, I think
Wii U?
it did make an appearance on Wii U.
Okay, that's what I'm confused on. All right. But anyway, September 18th.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
But
This is the game I'm most excited for out of the whole Direct.
Oh, absolutely. Come on. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for a while. But yeah, I mean, no, we finally get this. It's, great. I mean, again, I do wish we did have Galaxy 2 in there. I mean, I do prefer that to Galaxy 1.
Me too.
And like I said, I don't understand the whole limited package just because it's like, okay, so you want to cut off the period of time where people can give you money. I mean, I understand the tactic as like,
it's going to be a collector thing.
Oh, yeah, like trying to like, do the supply and demand type thing here, but yeah, it's no, I mean, I don't know. It's just a weird choice for a video game, I guess. It's something that I haven't really seen a whole lot in terms of like a base version of a game. Like if it was like a collector's edition of like a game, like, the Breath of the Wild, like
I made some money off that.
Yeah, I mean, like
I accidentally pre-ordered it and then flipped it.
Yep. But like the like collector's editions of games, like, yeah, totally get it. Makes sense. Understand it. For like the base version of a game, and we're talking like essentially up-res ports of older games. It's kind of a weird thing, at least I don't know, in my mind.
So for me, the only thing I don't like about, I understand for the collection it's $60.
Yeah.
For Super Mario 3D World, I don't understand a $60 price point. I could understand $49.99.
I mean, I
guess you're getting new stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I think that's the thing you gotta consider too.
Is that up-resed as well?
I don't know if it's up-res per se, but I do know that pretty much all the Wii U ports have been $60. Even though they do include like,
I guess that's true.
Extra
and
bells
it's Mario, so it's never going to go down in price.
Well, and plus you got to figure too just how few people owned a Wii U. This game really didn't have a chance to like actually get played, and it's going to be played by millions of people for the first time.
That is a weird thing because I guess since I've had since the 64, because I got a Super NES later in life,
right? Because
I grew up with Sega, and then I switched to 64 after that was my second console ever. Yeah. Then we had GameCube, then we had Wii, so we've had every Nintendo console. So it's just weird to me that a lot of people didn't have the Wii U. Yeah, we all had, everyone I knew who was a Nintendo person, like you and Seabrecht and some of our other friends, they all had Wii U's. Exactly. So it was just like, maybe we're this like niche group of people.
We were, yeah, I mean, well, you got to put it in perspective, like only 13 million of Wii U's were sold. Like Switch outdid the Wii U in sales, like within its first year. So it's like,
that's true.
It's a 9-day difference in terms of like exposure.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we thought about kind of it was a quick direct. The only thing I was thinking through was what would have been really cool, I think, is if we had a normal direct before this and it teased something. Yeah.
I mean, well, Nintendo's essentially been doing like a small direct like every week here, roughly, which I mean, it's like, I don't know. I guess I would have preferred like, a nice big consolidated.
That's what I was looking for, and maybe they just changed up their marketing, but I can see maybe in October we get another good one of like Breath of the Wild 2, some stuff.
That'd be amazing. Well,
Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I mean,
Super Mario Odyssey 2.
Please,
just kidding.
But no, I mean, I think with this 3D collection, Nintendo has definitely helped bring themselves back into the conversation in terms of like having like, a first party product being put out there. I think if they really want to, kind of help boost sales, level the playing field, all that stuff, I feel like maybe one more first party game that we don't know about or that hasn't been released yet would be just the thing that we need to close out the year, like something in November or December or something along those lines.
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
I'm with you. And that'll be like, either like a quick release turnaround, kind of like honestly
like Paper Mario or
even
any
of these games,
or this game here
because I like this. I like that I'm only having to wait 2 weeks and then like literally nothing. There's rumors floating, and then all of a sudden it's coming out in 2 weeks.
Although I will say, if this was happening when I was a kid, I'd be really pissed just
because you wouldn't have any money.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the downside for older consumers like us.
Yeah,
which this is what they're marketing to is people our age or a little bit younger.
Well, especially with this 3D collection, absolutely.
Like none of these kids have played these games.
No.
They're strictly Mario Odyssey kids, they're
like, okay, where's the gun? Like why can't I skydive onto the map and build stuff here?
Honestly, I can see Nintendo doing a battle royale soon.
Where's the battle pass? Yeah, no, I do want to see Nintendo's take on a battle royale here. I mean, who knows? Like
a Smash Bros. Battle royale.
Oh gosh, that'd be insane. But I think with Nintendo, it's like they're kind of always like a little late to the party and stuff. So
maybe next gen,
just because you got to figure like Splatoon came out during the Wii U era, which was like one generation behind from like when online multiplayer shooters got big, with like Call of Duty and Halo and all that stuff here. So who knows? We'll see how things shake out.
Yeah. Warner Bros. Interactive no longer for sale.
Yeah. So I don't know. Basically, the story that's been kind of going around, or the rumor is that Warner Brothers Interactive, that basically owns the Mortal Kombat, Rocksteady, and a bunch of other franchise game development companies, basically was going to be up for sale. And at one point, Xbox was looking at purchasing them, which I'm kind of glad that they are not, because according to Bloomberg, the parent company of this AT&T said it was too valuable of an asset to pay off debt, which in my mind, I'm like, where was this line of thinking like in the first place? But
they make us a lot of money.
I was like,
let's just sell them.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I don't get it.
But I'm glad I don't have to buy an Xbox to play Mortal Kombat and future Rocksteady games here. So
that is nice. All right, well that's it. We're getting into our roundtable review, and we got a lot for you. So stick around. All right, this is our roundtable review.
All right.
Dorian is the master of reviews for this week for the most part. So we're going to be listening to him mostly.
Yeah. So, all right. Well,
10-10 review, which I have not seen yet, full disclosure. Yep, so if you spoil anything, it's not happening because I slit his throat in the podcast.
Yeah. Which, I mean, would probably get our viewership up maybe a little bit. So, I don't know. We might have to consider that here.
Hey,
I mean,
I'm up to whatever you're up to as long as you sign something saying I can't be prosecuted for it.
Yeah, I make no guarantees.
And I don't know if there's even a law that would allow that.
I'm pretty sure there isn't, but Anyhow, so the Tenet, basically Christopher Nolan's new film. It's a espionage thriller, kind of in the vein of like a Jason Bourne or like the newer James Bond movies. But the thing about it is it has a time travel element to it here. So I'm not going to get into any spoilers about the movie, so I'm just going to kind of break it down into what I like, what I didn't like, overall thoughts here. So, but I will say, before I do that, like, one of my first things about, watching this movie, I was kind of like mentally trying to prepare myself for this movie. I'm like, okay, this is going to be, probably a lot to, I'm going to have to pay attention to. It's going to be like Inception, really have to take note and stock of like, details and plot points and blah, blah, blah. And about maybe the first 20 minutes or 30 minutes of the movie, I'm just like sitting there just like, I'm not smart enough to watch this movie.
That's how I feel about most of his movies. Like, especially Inception.
At least on the first
couple views. Yeah.
Yeah. First viewing. So but let me get into what I like about this movie first. So Christopher Nolan's take on time travel, really cool. Like it's a really unique concept. Still something I don't feel like I completely have wrapped my head around per se, because you'll see things happen and you're not entirely sure what exactly is happening, but then you see it from a different perspective, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, that's how things are working here. Or, these are kind of like kind of get a little bit of a better idea of like what the rules are with this, like the further you get into the movie here for the most part. Good action set pieces. There's
pretty standard for Nolan. Yeah.
Pretty standard for Nolan. I mean, you're not going to see anything like as, crazy as like the revolving hallway fight from Inception or even like some of the action set pieces from, the Dark Knight trilogy. But you do get to see like some action that's very creative and also some pretty good twists in this movie as well. Like there are definitely some things where I'm like, okay, that was actually really well done, well played. But getting into some of the things I'm not super crazy about. So the characters in this movie, they're more roles than they are characters. They don't have like a whole lot of personality to them.
Yeah, I heard about that. They don't even refer to the main character by name, do they?
So like I even looked it up on IMDb. I'm like, what was that guy's name after I saw the movie? I'm like, did they even refer to him by name? And it just said protagonist.
That's interesting.
I mean, and technically they do refer to him, at least like this one person refers to him as the protagonist in the movie.
Oh, so that's like his name is the protagonist.
Kind of, but it's more
like
of
a title.
Well, it's not even like really a title per se. It's more like kind of like a speaking in broad terms, like, you're kind of the protagonist of this whole situation here or something like that, I guess, kind of being explained in like, an example here for the most part.
And I would say that's typically like Nolan doesn't make, I haven't seen Dunkirk.
Yeah.
He doesn't make character driven movies.
I mean, I disagree with that just because.
Batman, but that has to be. It has to be.
Interstellar. I think.
Oh yeah, okay. I take that back because Interstellar definitely is a character-driven movie.
Very much so.
But he's kind of known to that not to be always the case for his movies.
Well, yeah. I mean, Inception, great movie. I mean, it's not like even though there are some character moments in that movie, it's not like a big character-driven movie per se. Right. It's more like the plot and the concept that are kind of pushing things along and what is actually really good about that movie. But I would say The Prestige is a very character-driven movie.
That's true, yeah.
But, and Memento most definitely for sure.
I haven't seen that still.
Yeah. So kind of getting back into like what I'm not super crazy about. The pace, a little too fast for my taste. Now, one of the things that I usually come down hardest on, like, movies or TV is the pacing here. Because if you don't have good pacing, that's one good way to kind of lose my attention or kind of make me lose interest into what's going on if I feel like you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
Nolan has kind of the opposite problem here. And
just like, boom, boom, boom.
It's very like breakneck, fast pace. And
see, I love those movies.
See, and I do too. I just felt like this one was a little too fast paced for my taste here.
Interesting.
Just because there are things that happen.
There's no development.
Well, it's not necessarily a matter of, I guess development would be the right term I'm looking for, but there's things that happen that go really quickly and there's not like a whole lot of
exposition on
it. And, it's just like, kind of rapid fire one after the other here. So it's kind of like you're just really just trying to kind of keep up with like, essentially like, somebody who's like an Olympic runner here and like just going out for like a jog or something along those lines.
Gotcha.
So, and could be difficult to understand on the first viewing, which, I mean, this is kind of a Christopher Nolan thing. Pretty much like most of his movies, you have to see multiple times to kind of get the full picture and like kind of, get the idea of like, oh, okay, that's the significance of this type of thing here.
Even Batman was like that.
Even Batman, most definitely. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely make that argument for sure. But I mean, this one especially, I feel like, more so than like his other movies, because at the end of the day, like when I watched this movie, I got the general idea of like, okay, this is what they were doing. This is how it was. This is like the significance or like, why this was important.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of details that I'm like, okay, well, why was this way here?
Totally.
So overall, I will have to see this movie again to kind of maybe get a little bit of a better opinion on it. But right now I'm walking out of it feeling pretty positive about the movie.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I think we're probably going to see this before the podcast actually airs. So we have Labor Day weekend coming up. And
yeah, there you go.
I think we'll probably
see it on,
pop in and
yeah,
maybe like a matinee or something.
Yeah, no, sounds good.
All right. So You talked about one thing I liked. I actually picked this game up a couple days before this podcast airs.
Yeah.
And that's Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
Game I loved. The remake, I guess you want to call it a soft reboot or reboot of Doom.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
I love the first game. I had tons of fun with it.
Yeah, the 2016 Doom. Yeah.
So I'm super excited to play this.
Yeah. So
did you play any before we get into it? I guess did you play any online or no
for this game?
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I messed around with it just a little bit.
Pretty fun, or
it's unique. Okay. I will say that much. I mean, I would say the online is, I would say, I guess it just kind of depends on you. I mean,
okay,
I'd say it's serviceable. I would definitely say playing as the Doomslayer is the better role to be match made in. But I don't know. I could take it or leave it, to be honest.
Cool. Okay.
So, but
let's do it.
All right. So Doom Eternal. So like you, I just recently played Doom 2016 for the first time, beat it, fresh off of it, liked it. So I picked up this game, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, just played through it last weekend. And honestly, I loved it. Like, just kind of getting into what I like about it. So it took the gameplay of, the first game, Doom 2016, executed it to perfection. Like the fast pace, high adrenaline stuff, it's all there, but now you have a more cyclical routine here. So it's like, your ammo, I would say, is more limited in this compared to the first one. So what you have to do is you have to constantly be cycling through different weapons. Like when you run out of ammo, you'll have to chainsaw, like one of your enemies to get like, a big ammo drop. That way you can like get more ammo. And then if you're running low on health, you have to do like a melee kill. So that way you can like get a whole bunch of health.
Yeah.
If you're running low on armor, you have to light an enemy on fire and start, doing damage, and it'll start producing armor drops. So it has like a very rhythmic cycle to it. And it's just really just done like beautifully here. A couple other things about it. The weapons I feel better in this game than they did in the first game. There's some weapons that I was just kind of like, meh.
Take it or leave it.
I could take it or leave it, or I'm just not going to really use this one as much just because it just doesn't feel as good. But
is the story about as long? Like you're talking, 20-ish hours?
I would say the campaign is shorter than the first one. And that was like one of the issues I had with the first Doom. Was I felt like it went a little too long. This one is like about, I want to say like maybe about 15 hours or so.
Okay.
But it feels like just
with
the right
DLC coming.
Yeah, there is DLC coming, but it feels just the right length for this game.
Cool. I can dig it.
So, but going back to like the gameplay and the combat, you have like basically kind of like a tracer dash move where you like can dash like really quick to like, strafe or get out of the way or get
Sweet.
or
Like
close
the mobility
distance.
look.
Yeah, mobility. You have like these monkey bars that you can swing off of and like just provide you more verticality and all that. So the movement in this game is just really great for a first-person shooter here. There are more environments than just like, kind of like the hellscapes that you got from, or like these really dark, sci-fi environments that you got from like the first game. You go to like places that have snow in them. You got the places that are actually green. You go to like, you go to like the hellscape places and all that. You go to these sci-fi like space places and all that, like these space stations and all that. So there's a lot more variety to the environments. And I would say the exploration is better in this game. There are better secrets. You actually kind of do want to like get more stuff. Whereas in the first game, I don't know what it was, but I just didn't really care about picking up the secrets. I'm just like, that it's not really doing it for me. But, and then the Slayer gates are basically these challenge rooms that you find like in the level that teleport you into like this arena. And it's like basically this big like adrenaline rush do or die situation where you're just surrounded by enemies and you just have to like fight them all off and all that. And it's like basically kind of like highlights the best parts of that game here essentially.
Nice.
So, and the final boss, maybe the best final boss I have ever fought in a first-person shooter. It's like it really just it's big in scope. It's It really just adds to the, I guess, like the already great gameplay. It doesn't try to do like what most games I feel like with boss fights where they try to change up the formula about it. It's like, no, we're keeping the formula the same for the most part. You're still doing like, the quick adrenaline combat and all that. You're just having like this one element that's around it here, basically. So,
Gotcha.
but talking about what I'm not crazy about, boss fights in this game, they're better than the first game's boss fights, which, I wasn't too big of a fan of. I felt like they, kind of got away from like, what made Doom good in that game.
Yeah.
And you had like, limited resources. You had to like actually, it was more about like survival than actually just like mowing down enemies and,
Sure.
stuff like that. But, so that being said, boss fights in this game are better than the first games. I still feel like by and large, most of them do need some work. And the Marauder guys, those guys suck. You'll find out when you start playing that game here. The story in this game doesn't make much sense unless you're going to get deep into the lore here. So
I never pay attention to the story for the most part.
Sure, no, and I mean, I get that, and it's like, and it wasn't like a huge detractor for me playing this game just because, I was more drawn to the gameplay than I am to the story of this game, and I guess like my issue with the story is like the first Doom game had like a pretty basic story, but it worked, and you understood it. When you start this game, you're like, okay, who's this? Who's that? All that business. So, but that being said, this is easily one of the best games of the year, and one of the best shooter campaigns I've ever played.
Love it.
Yeah,
I'm excited to play it.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about a game. We're going to talk about first impressions of Spellbreak. Mm-hmm. This is a free-to-play battle royale magic game.
Yeah.
Comparable to kind of a shooter, I guess.
I mean, your accuracy,
casting spells and stuff. It's really fun.
The accuracy in this game is what's going to determine whether or not you're doing well. So it's like a light shooter, essentially.
Essentially. I mean, so I'll just get right into it. But pretty fun game so far, at least from my perspective. Haven't been able to play with like a legit team because you play on teams of 3 right now.
Right.
As far as the communication, we haven't played together yet. We will probably this next week or so coming up.
Yeah.
It's a battle royale with RPG elements. That's essentially what this game is. You can select your first gauntlet, which the gauntlet's kind of your attack, how you attack. So there's fire, stone, ice, toxic, wind, lightning.
That's it.
And that's it. There's 6 gauntlets.
Yep.
So you could start with one of them and you get perks and stuff. You can find another one in the map, kind of like you're looting like another
as your
weapon.
Secondary, and you can combine.
It's pretty cool combinations you can make.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can select your first gauntlet. It has a set of perks called talents, and they kind of alter how you play your character, your different play style. It could give you more abilities for your runes, which runes are basically like kind of like how you escape situations, or like kind of like your mobility, helps your mobility, or finding your enemies or running them down. So like
essentially perks.
Yeah, pretty much. Hopefully that once I understand the game better and the gameplay, I'll like it even more. But right now, I just get pwned most of the time.
Really?
Unless I'm on a good team. I've won probably 10 games. Like we've won the game.
You've won 10 games?
Probably. Something like that. Like 7 or 10, I don't remember.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, I was carried for the most part. I got like 8 exiles one game, but
really
I was going crazy on that game.
Okay.
And that's the other thing. Like you can down enemies, but since it's like if they have teammates left, you'll become like this orb.
Yeah.
And then you have to get revived. But that's kind of downside. So you could kill someone and then have to run away from like a situation.
Yeah.
And you don't get the kill.
Right.
Whoever exiles that person, which you walk up to them and hold it almost like you're reviving someone, but then you just kind of banish them.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, I think is kind of a cool concept, at least in terms of the whole like downing somebody for good. Like, in Fortnite, you could just shoot them more here. If they're out in the open, they can't really do much. This is like saying, hey, if you want this person gone for good, you actually have to get a little risky if you're in the middle of a fight here, as opposed to like, if you get down in Fortnite and you're in the open, you're done. Like there's no coming back.
No. Well, and there's an ability too. I don't know if you've unlocked it yet, but
oh yeah, where you can like revive yourself.
yeah, for like with like 10 health or something like that.
Something like
but
that.
But you're immune for a while, so you could actually use one of your runes. Like if you have flight,
yeah,
you can just get out of there real quick.
Exactly.
And then try to heal back up if you still have potions.
Right.
So I love the art style that they went with.
Yeah, it's kind of Breath of the Wild.
Very Breath of the Wild looking.
Yeah. I mean, not as good looking as Breath of the Wild.
No.
I mean, I would say the character models look pretty good. The environments could look a little bit better, but definitely.
And it probably will over time.
It probably will. I mean, as this game grows, hopefully.
Yeah, this is a game that makes you, if you're an Avatar fan, it makes you feel like a bender.
Not like a 1-to-1 ratio, but it's
No.
definitely like the closest thing that I think that we have, like in terms of like a game and even like an online game that you feel like kind of similar to like, a Master of the Elements here.
Totally.
Yeah. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, no, I like a lot of the things that this game is doing. I would say it needs some time to flesh out some things and polish it. I mean, and this game is in its infancy. I guess it's still considered beta, which I don't even know what that means anymore because Fortnite for the
just
longest,
got out of beta.
Yeah, Fortnite was like in beta for years, even though it was like the multi-million-dollar game that we've known for a while. But I mean, I think a couple of ways that you do make this better. I think the map is too big or the player count is too low.
I kind of get that. I would say it depends. Like it's kind of like Fortnite in the sense of if you land in hot zones, there's gonna be a fight.
No, absolutely. But
and I'm still trying to learn that. So like as you're playing, it's like 4 people could show up right next to you and you're host.
Yeah.
Or you don't see a person until the end game.
Right. No, absolutely. And because that's like how my first match went. Like pretty much like most of it was like, okay, well, I guess we'll just keep looting and keep going inside the circle until we find somebody. And I think we got into like maybe 1 or 2 fights and then that was it. And then we won the game here. I'm just like, okay, this map might be a little too big here for what it's going for.
It could be. I haven't even explored all of it yet.
I haven't either, but I mean, but it's like, I feel like it's probably pretty comparable to like the size of Fortnite's map. And that has
definitely.
like twice as many people in it here.
So is there 50 when we start the game? I don't remember.
I think it's 42.
Yeah, I would say if they bumped it up to like 75 to 100, it would probably be pretty popping.
Well,
it's just chaotic once you get close. It's chaotic.
No, there were some battles I got into that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Just to watch it and be like, oh my gosh, what's happening?
Well, even like imagine being in it here. It's it's like absolutely.
No, I mean
insane.
I've sat back and watched people just fight, like hiding, kind of like, oh crap, I'm gonna jump into this in a second.
I might do my sniper.
Pick them off. The ice power where you can snipe it.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean it's no, I mean I understand like the player count being what it is, just because like with as much stuff that's going on, it's like, if you add too much,
it would just be straight chaos.
It would be straight chaos, or might even break the game here. Like the game might just stop running.
And I can see them doing more game modes in the future too. Obviously, they're going to have duos and then singles, so we'll see kind of how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. So, the sound design in this game, I feel like needs to improve, like because you're not entirely sure, like
where stuff's coming from,
or even like when your allies are using like their abilities or runes or powers and stuff like that, you're like, okay, I just heard a wolf howl. Was that our guy or was that somebody else that's tracking us in here, so stuff like that. I feel like they need to do that, especially like, when like you play something like Fortnite or even like Call of Duty or something where you're like, oh, I hear footsteps. We need to watch out here or something, because I mean, sound I think is something people take for granted for in these games, just because it's huge. It's like, if somebody gets a drop on you and you have no idea as to like any indication that they might be coming, it's like,
I would say I've gotten ambushed like that many times in this game, like where all of a sudden someone hits me with toxic and a fireball and I'm pretty much dead.
Yeah.
And I didn't even hear him coming.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
so we were kind of talking about this earlier. I might kind of change my opinion on this here. I might have to like actually play or like look at some videos more, but I felt like half of the rooms are like really lame in terms of like what they can do, at least in comparison to like some of like the really good, like the ones that are really good at least like on the surface level, like the one that the wolf howl that reveals your enemies, or the flight rune, or even the invisibility rune. It's like, okay, I can clearly see the benefit for that, but you know, like the dash rune, I had like an issue with, just because it's like you dash like 2 feet. And and then that's it here. It's not like, a pretty wide berth, or like you can even go like hold it down, go farther or something like that.
Yeah, I get that. I think it's
I mean, in comparison,
you got to
like
learn your play style, stuff like that, how to combo it with like your
Sure.
jumps and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. There's some really useful ones just off the bat, especially when you're just learning the game, and other ones that aren't as useful, but maybe once you get to more competitive stuff,
it might
come in handy.
Yeah. Potentially, yeah. So
yeah, and I'm guessing they're going to be adding more classes, like more powers and stuff in the future, potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
We'll see, but
yeah, I mean, overall,
good game.
I think this game has a lot of potential. I think if it has a dedicated fan base and just, improves with time, I think this game could be a banger.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Hopefully you guys play it. It's free, so go download it.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. But thank you guys for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Check us out. We come out Mondays. Look for us. We're going to be doing Korra Book 1 in the next 2 weeks, I think. So
yeah, roughly around that time. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that. Check us out on YouTube, all those things, Facebook. Hit us up on our social medias. Have an awesome week, and remember, everyone's a nerd about something.